Good afternoon and welcome to the stream. Maybe someday I will get a camera that I cannot accidentally bump. Because every time I go live, I then realize that, oh no, people probably think that my basement is crooked. Like the whole basement. But it's not. So, hi Jay and hi Thomas. Welcome to the stream. I was trying to do something creative with OBS and chose a setting in OBS that completely did a bunch of bad things. So, I'm not going to be creative. I'm just going to use it. It means I'll have to bring the 386 downstairs instead of using it upstairs to test things. But anyways, I have warmed up the soldering iron. I have the XT-IDE Revision 4 that Thomas sent me. I did get the components from Mauser that I ordered. See, these are the 74F573N chips that go, actually I think they were these two here. And had to get some resistor networks. And one of them fell out bringing it down here. Yes, that is all I need to do is get more stuff so that you can't see the basement behind me. Yeah, I'll have to keep working on that. So, oh no. Hi Retro Techie, you haven't missed much because I decided to do something creative upstairs and it blew up in my face, and so I'm down here and I'm not going to be creative. I was thinking that I could do the soldering down here in the basement, and then through the magic of StreamYard, which I am still using, despite rumors to the contrary, I would then take the soldered board upstairs where it's warmer to actually test it, but in trying to set OBS up to have a decent looking window from my capture card, I don't know what it is about OBS. It does not seem to play nicely with my VGA capture card. And I'm actually noticing that not only did I bump this camera, but I really bumped this camera the other day. Maybe that's why I keep bumping into it, is because it actually was lower on the desk than I thought it should be. That's probably why I kept bumping it. There we go. Now I'm not cutting the top of my hat off. That would be a travesty. Alright. So anyways, I have my leaded solder. I fixed the little spool holder thing because it kept falling apart on me. I just realized that I warmed up the soldering iron and I have the wrong tip on it, so, well, I guess we'll just say that I was soldering something else. And that's all I'm going to say about that. You'll just have to wait for my next video. However, if anyone, you can probably put two and two together and figure something out by the fact of which tip is on the soldering iron as to what I might have been doing, but yeah, I will not confirm or deny any rumors on that. There we go. And now I probably better move this what is probably undoubtedly a very hot soldering tip out of the way. There we go. Retro Techie, this is... alright, Retro Techie, this board that I'm soldering, Thomas Armstrong gave it to me. Oh, wait a minute, you might be asking someone else a question. The tip I was using was like a very, very, very fine point tip for not soldering through-hole components. So anyways, and luckily Mauser, even though when I placed my order from Mauser for these parts, they had some warning on their website that said, hey, due to shipping volumes, blah, 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 your order might be delayed. And I still had the order in 2 days. Well, Retro Techie, I am fresh out of Sega Saturns. If I had an extra one of those, I would most certainly consider sending one your way, because I know you would actually use it. But I don't even have one myself. Oh, well, they shipped, Mauser shipped the order the same day, and I picked 2 days shipping. I think they shipped it from their warehouse in Texas. But yeah, I figured from their warning that for sure that I wouldn't see the order as soon as I did, but then again, it was a fairly small order. It was the logic chips, some resistor nuts, and some other mystery part. Which might give away the next video. So the mystery part will remain a mystery. Alright, so I'm just putting some R2-D2 Xbox. Oh! Alright. So anyways, there we go. Ah, it looks like if I want to put an LED on here, I can put an LED on here. Well, I'll have to go find an LED. So anyways, now that I've got those components secured so that they won't fall off, and I'm going to see if I can zoom in any further. There we go. And basically, oh, that's right. There was one other thing I wanted to do. That was pull the ROM chip out of the socket, because I've heard that it can be a bad idea to solder sockets with the chip in it. Because I guess if things go wrong, you could inevitably solder the chip into the socket. Of course, that'll require... Uh-oh. That's odd. yeah, the sockets can get solder in them, and then there we go. So, all right. All right, so I just pulled the ROM chip out of the socket and put the ROM socket back in the board. Alright. Well, come on, socket. There we go. Make sure I got the notch lined up. All right. Oh. Well, it's probably good that I did that because one of the pins of the ROM chip was not making contact with the... Unless that's bent on purpose. Okay. I don't know. Is that pin bent on purpose, Thomas? It looks like it's the last pin, or did it bend when it went into the socket? So, I'm not going to do anything to that just yet. Yeah, I've got a programmer down here. I'll be able to blank it. Not bent on... Okay. Well, I will very carefully unbend it. Well, I can't say that that's not something I've done because it can be easy to bend those pins. Alright, so I guess might as well just start over on the left and work my way right. AT28C64B. Yeah, I think my programmer will support that chip. Alright, so these components are tacked, except the ROM socket. It's one of those that just clip in. If anyone's wondering how in the world I pulled the ROM socket out of the board. I was just checking there for a moment with my soldering iron. It seemed like it wasn't on. It is. Oh. That is one use for Steve's 8-hour streams. Well, last year I used a shelf building stream to do taxes to. Or, well, more accurately, I was collecting receipts during the stream. I think I actually did my taxes without a stream going, because it's hard to type numbers in when people are saying numbers that don't match the numbers you're trying to type. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll have retro techie soldering in no time. We'll somehow manage to convince him to break down and buy a soldering iron, and after all, if you get a Sega Saturn, you never know what problems it might have that you need to fix. When we think about the angle I'm... Oh. Yeah, I am soldering at a slightly odd angle. Well, it's not an odd angle to solder at, it's the light I have above me is casting weird shadows. So it's making things look like they're not soldered when they are. And yeah, I'm with you there, Retro Techie. I believe Sega Saturn console prices are stupid. Although I think Bruce says it better. He's like, stupid. Ah. Well, I'm still waiting to place my order with UT Source. Which is probably good I waited, because actually last night I found myself adding another part to my cart. So if I'd already placed the order... Oh, actually that one's already tacked. That looks weird. Alright, let's try that. Alright. Well, yeah, I bought a computer yesterday. It'll make its appearance on the channel in due time, and yeah, it's going to need cleaned. Hi Adam, Dave, welcome to the stream. Nope, it's not fixed yet. I'm still working on pins on the first row. So now I gotta solder the 40 pin header here, I think. And then I got the second row of chips. Go. Well, very carefully, Adam. But it beats the fact that my basement is 47 degrees right now. Yep, my basement is not insulated, and the space heater that I have running beside my leg is not doing much. It's basically keeping my leg warm. There we go. Alright, so I'm just checking to make sure I got all the pins on this row. I think I did. Alright, we'll go to the next row. Yeah, I don't have any G5s to power up down here. Of course, that also has the problem of I don't have that many power outlets down here to plug enough G5s into. Yeah. Well, maybe if I can find a creative way to insulate the basement someday. Maybe once I get partner status with YouTube, I can have super chats, and a super sticker might buy half of a 2x4 for framing. After YouTube's cut, of course. Of course, I haven't priced lumber lately, so maybe it'd only buy a third of a 2x4 now. Of course, I know lumber is so expensive, I'd even thought of looking into stainless steel studs, but that's probably expensive too. Of course, when I start insulating the basement, I may just have to do it in this part of the basement. I may, because I kind of know how I would like to finish the basement. So maybe I just need to insulate one room at a time. Start with this area. Yeah, that probably would be the way to do it. Yeah, I think the only problem with those is, I think by code you've got to then finish you have to put something on top of the foam. Or at least the foam board. But yeah, that'd probably be the way to insulate the walls of the basement, because build a wall out of floppy drives, yeah. If they can build straw bale houses, then why can't we build floppy drive houses? I need to remember to get another one of the little brass things for my solder cleaner. I think I have one floating around here somewhere if I just know where I put it. Yeah, I would ask Jay how his beige refurbishing is going, but I'd probably be afraid to know what the answer is. I'll just wait for him to exclaim during one Mac Yak that it's on eBay, and then I'll know he finally got one done. Actually, I think he said the other day he had to order lots of parts. Well, I guess it's a kit. It's actually, Thomas Armstrong had sent me the board and he tacked all the components in. So, but I guess in a way it is a kit. Oh, I think those pins are actually soldered in. Okay. I think I've got everything soldered. Just looking over the board. There's a few solder splatters that I will have to wipe them up with my soldering iron here. Yeah, I think I might. Yeah, there were a few that looked a bit. Alright, well that one looks a bit. Actually, yep, I think I see. Let me see. There's one that, right. Nope, that's just the reflection. Actually, there's one. That one wasn't soldered. Okay, I don't have a component here, so that's not soldered. Okay, those two jumpers beside it are bottom row to the left of the one you just did. Yeah, there's... Yeah, let me take a better look. See exactly which ones. Okay. The left of where it says GW, yeah. Whole row here kind of actually no, this whole row here too kind of Above where I'm at now, one pin looks light on solder. Well, first let me fix this where I've got two pins that are shorted together. There we go. Bottom of the row you're doing. Oh, yep, I think change the color of the light above the desk. That might help me get a little better contrast. Yep, I think I finally saw it there. Just get these last few pins here, which kind of look alright. I think everything has a sufficient solder joint on it now. Alright, so let me get, there's a few little solder wisps. Let me just it is, I think it is just about done. There are just a few, the soldering's done. Let me zoom out just a little so you can see the whole board. So there's just a few places where I got a little, there's like little wisps or blobs of solder. And I just kind of want to clean those up just a little bit. I don't think any of them are going to short anything together, but I'm just going to take a moment to clean them off the board nevertheless. All right. Bye-bye, spammer. All right. So now that I got the board done, I guess I can remove the tape that was holding the components in. And so there's the front of the board. let me see if I can get this pin on the ROM chip unbent. See if I have... So the end of one of these pins is folded over. So actually, that doesn't have enough of a point on it for me to grab it. Let's try these. Yep, I have plenty of donor ICs if it breaks, but so far there we go. It's unbent. All right. All right, so I've got my little TL866 programmer. And put this in here. And let's see here. Let me rearrange windows here. So that I can go to there we go. All right, so see, there's an AT28C64B. T28C 64B. All right. Let me just check here. So I want to erase the chip. All right. So I have erased the chip. Yeah, it's a Windows PC. But yeah, there's no Mac programming software for this Mini Pro. I think you can use Linux, but I'm not there yet. Alright, so got a blank chip. Do I need to program it with the Mini Pro, Thomas, or can I program it from the XT-IDE? Of course, I'm going to have to go get the... I think, though, in order to program it, I need to go configure the image regardless. Okay. Yeah, 50 sub giveaway of a new old Switch. Yeah, I've got plenty of new old Switches to give away. Let me just see if I can remember what I did with the ones I pulled off the wall down here in the basement, and I don't know who would want it, but... I'll even autograph it. Alright, so I have erased the ROM chip so that I'll be able to program it with the XT-IDE. And now I will carefully put it back in its socket, hoping that the pen will not bend on me. Whoops. The afternoon's still young. I might be soldering a donor leg on this chip before long. Had another, had one of the pins bend on me trying to insert it. Wow, it really bent. All right. All right, let's try again. Alright. Seems to be going in. Alright, it's going in fine on that side. And it's going fine on this side. Alright. ROM is in. Alright. Select high-speed option. Use setting for IDE Rev 2 modified. Alright, let me go, guess go get the PC this needs to go in. Ah. Bad floppy controller, yeah. Alright, so let me go get the PC. I'll be right back. And we will program an image on it. Alright, so I have my 386 on the workbench. This is the same 386 that I had on a previous stream. And although you might notice I have slightly upgraded it since that stream. I have a Sound Blaster Vibra 16 installed now. Still no math coprocessor. Alright. Let's see here. Go back to screen share. Oh, that is the wrong input. There we go. It also has slightly more RAM than it did. Oh, did I set the dips? No, I did not set the dip switches. So for all I know, it is conflicting with everything on the computer. Yep, let me pull that up. Yeah, I just put the card in without even checking the switches. All right. Oh, yeah, that's... Alright. Yep, remove the RQ jumper. Alright, that's done. Set the yellow jumpers to high. Yep, I got those. And... I want the... There we go. I wanted the base addresses. Switch 1 and 2 are on. Yes, I believe that is correct. Well, it is now correct. Oh yeah, I bet I didn't have anything. Yep, so that's base address of 300. All right. All right. Now it's jumpered. I do not know why pressing escape does not bypass the memory chest, but the keyboard is plugged in. I'm not sure it was really necessary to boot from the floppy disk, but... Now we wait for it to boot from floppy disk. Alright. Alright. And I need that one there. And configure. Wonder what the chances are auto configure will actually pick things up. Oh, well, that's the... I think that's the onboard one. Yeah, I want the Rev 2 or modded Rev 1. $300, $308, enable interrupt, no. All right. Wait a minute. No, I think I forgot about that one. At least save the BIOS. All right. Oh yeah, the other switch block that I completely forgot to set. All right. So switch block 2. I want A16 on, off, off, off. And then BIOS type. I need those two on. And let's see, enable. And I guess I need to turn those two on as well. Okay. Now the ROM is mapped into memory. Yeah. Yeah, without that, the ROM's not going to work. And seriously, I am trying to bypass the memory test, and I don't know why. It does. It says press escape to bypass memory test, but it does not work. Escape does not bypass the memory test. Alright, so now should just be able to program this because I've already configured it. And flash EEPROM 2864, yep, that looks right. Yes, and I'm wondering if I'll even be able to get rid of the dynamic drive overlay that I'm using. Oh. Press any key to reboot. Okay, that's fine. It says press any key to reboot, but you have to press enter or escape. That is not any key. Because I pressed the space bar because it said press any key. Space bar doesn't work. Okay, let me skip the memory test that time. Yeah, this is a special any key. Well, that didn't work quite as I expected it would. I was expecting I would see the on-screen menu. Alright, let's go. Run the memory map here. Well, that's interesting. Check-it does not see any ROMs. Huh. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Do I need to come into setup and do something? Yeah, it's set to map in at D1000, and check it showed no ROMs in from C800 to right before the BIOS at E1000. Okay. Do I need to disable the onboard hard drive controller? I guess I can try it, although I think this is just going to have the added benefit of it's not going to see the onboard IDE. Okay, at least it seems like it lets you bypass the memory test on warm boots. No, I don't think that was it. Parallel comm, that shouldn't conflict. Alright, well that should be fine. I don't think I need to shadow ROMs. Keyboard's installed. Huh. Oh, well, let me... Okay, well, let's try that again. Easy BIOS came from Mac Store, actually. The hard drive I have, the spinning hard drive I have in here is... I could only use, like, a very small amount of it without easy BIOS, which is that a dynamic drive overlay, because this BIOS, while the BIOS let me set 4092 1663, DOS only supports like 512 cylinders, or there's some limit where I was only able to use a small portion of the hard drive without that software. I don't think it should be interfering with option ROMs, because the BIOS should be initializing option ROMs before it gets to where it loads the boot sector off the hard drive. Okay, so I'm going to try hitting enter instead of... Because actually, if it doesn't pick up the XT-IDE BIOS, then it's not going to... Yeah, okay, that's what the hard drive controller disabled. It's weird. It's like this BIOS doesn't scan for option ROMs. Yeah, that seems to be the... Of course, Checkit doesn't even see the ROM either. Yeah, I guess that's the... It's about the only thing I can think of. I'm wondering if I can change those switches without pulling the card. Let me see. I think, well, I had a spudger down here. I bet I took it upstairs for some strange reason. Oh, I did. Oh, here we go. One of these might work. I just want to, take the card out. Okay, card's out. Is there something else you wanted me to try with the card out? Let's see here. E15. Okay. A16, A15, A14, A13. Wait a minute. So D000 didn't work, so I'm going to try D800. Okay. Alright, card's back in. I set it for D800. I am not going to ask why in the world you have to reprogram it to change the base address, but whatever magic they're doing in the BIOS. This computer will be even more fun to cold boot when I get some more parts for it. Yeah, that I don't know how Check It determines things like that. All right. I mean, well, this program seems to see the EEPROM. All right. I think that's all configured correctly. So 300 hex is where I've got it. XT-IDE revision 2. All right. Oh, well, it even seems to... This program sees the EEPROM. Although that was suspiciously fast. Yeah, I wondered that. It's booting from the floppy disk because I forgot to eject it. Yeah, it's something's... Because this program... In fact, I'm going to... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it just loaded, that it really did just load the EEPROM. So this program sees the EEPROM. I don't know if it's scanning for other ROMs because the only card I have that has a ROM in it is the VGA card, but the VGA card gets scanned. Well, the video cards are a special case. I think they get scanned when the computer's powered on, if it actually scans for it. Maybe because it may not actually scan for a ROM. I don't have... Yeah. I mean, that's really about the only permutation to try is... compatible modes. Which I'll do now. I'll have to reconfigure the BIOS. Alright, yep, I'll... Alright. Nope, that was fine. It's that. And... is that an XT-IDE Revision 1? Is that the setting I want? XT-PIO. Oh, so that one right there? Well, it won't be picking that option with the 386 image. It lets me pick that one though, but that's not the right one. Oh, actually, I'm looking at this table here. Actually, I do want that setting right there for compatibility. I'm not convinced it actually wrote the BIOS, but I was gonna see if check it even. Yeah, I don't know how check it enumerates that. Check it still doesn't see anything there. Yeah. That's about what I need to do, is try it in an XT machine. And that's where I have to mention that I can't do that at the moment. And if you want to know more on that, you're just going to have to wait till the next video. Yeah, the XT computer is, well, it is on the shelf behind me. And yeah, it's just going to stay there at the moment. I can try another slot in this computer just in case this slot I randomly picked is something's wrong with it. But quite honestly, I don't know why the XT-IDE software would have... I don't know what could be wrong with the slot that would allow XT-IDE configuration to see the card, but for the computer not to scan it. So, alright, we'll try another slot, just to be sure. Although, the slot I just plugged it into, it went in a whole lot easier in it, so, quite honestly, if I was to vote on which slot I thought was bad, it'd be the one I just plugged it in, because it just mushed straight down in it. Yeah, I'm wondering if the BIOS in this machine is not scanning option ROMs. And I'm trying to think if I have any PC or ISA cards that have an option ROM on them. And the only other option card I have with a ROM on it is my XT-CF, which I couldn't get to work in this computer either. No, I forgot to trim the card edges. I gotta go find sandpaper. Yeah, I should have probably sanded an angle onto it. All right. I'm just gonna load it from the EEPROM. And look at that. It loaded from the EEPROM. I'm going to go ahead and change this card back to that. I'll re-jumper it. Flash EEPROM. It's a 2864. Oh, did I pick the wrong? Yeah, I'm thinking it's a system BIOS issue, but I have no cards to. Yeah, that is the mushiest slot in the world that I've just put it into, but it's making contact. Well, Dave, you didn't miss a lot because this computer is not scanning option ROMs. Oh, I just thought of something. I don't know. I don't know if I know anyone that has a computer with an ISA slot. But I did just think of something that would, that might help. So I just went and, so here's the XT-CF Lite. And there's a method to my madness, because let's see, so that card goes there. There is a method to my madness here. Alright, so my XT-CF Lite is configured for C800, which does not conflict with the BIOS in this card, which is at D800. But I do have an image for my XT-CF Lite that has another option ROM in the image. So I'm going to program that image onto the XT-CF Lite. And then we'll reboot the computer and we'll see if it scans that ROM that's not an XT-IDE Universal BIOS image. Which will help us to so if it scans that other ROM image, then we know the BIOS is scanning ROM images, and there's some compatibility issue with the XT-IDE Universal BIOS, which I don't know really helps us much. But if it doesn't scan that other ROM, then I think we know for sure that this computer it's not scanning option ROMs. Okay. Alright, so let's see what it does. I do know the BIOS image. Alright, I think that confirms this computer is not scanning option ROMs. Because while I would have totally forgiven the computer for ignoring that second XT-IDE BIOS image because it was for an XT computer, the second option ROM I know works on 386 computers because it actually complained when I tried to use it in an XT computer. Yeah, I know. I'm sure when I get it working, Jay, I will probably not say anything because okay, that's weird. It would appear as if I crashed to check it. Huh. Okay. I guess maybe... Okay, well, we'll try it with one card installed. It probably would. I just guess I need to go find another computer with ISA. Okay. So... CMOS checksum error. Well, that's weird. Let's see, 4092 1663. Primary display is installed, disabled 1, high speed enabled. That's weird that Check-It crashed and wiped the CMOS memory. Yeah, I don't know why it... I'm wondering if that setting is that you tell it keyboard not installed and it doesn't do the keyboard check on boot. It's the only thing I can figure, but it sure isn't named that great. Yep, it's just not... I mean, the only other thing I can think of that I really don't think is it. Nope, that doesn't appear to be the magic setting. All right, it is yeah, it's just doesn't seem to want to scan option ROMs at all. So yeah, because actually the XT-CF Lite that I have, there with that ROM image I programmed into it, not only did it have the XT-IDE Universal BIOS at C800, but at D1000 it had a Y2K compatibility ROM image, which it wasn't. Yeah. Now I have a feeling it's this computer, and not. And in fact, I'm kind of wondering if the problem is the BIOS in this computer. Did maybe they create such a budget computer that they just never thought anyone would upgrade it? I mean, that just seems weird to have a computer with expansion slots and assume that it your target audience is so budget minded, they're never going to add expansion cards with ROMs in it, but yet it's not scanning option ROMs. Is about the only conclusion I can come to. But unfortunately, I don't have a SCSI card, because I was thinking if I had a SCSI card, I would try to put that in here and see if it would even see the option ROM on that. Or if I had an ISA network card. The video card does have ROMs on it. Yeah, it has 2 ROMs on it. One's marked VGA low and one's marked VGA high. So, I mean, theoretically, it is reading those option ROMs, because although I know that I think the video ROMs are scanned differently than other expansion ROMs. That is a great question, Dave. I will have to look into it. I know for some older computers, there are generic BIOSes out there that work, and it's possible that I might be able to find a BIOS that would work on this computer, because it is a Headland Technologies chipset, and I do know that was a fairly popular chipset. And that is a good point, Thomas. Maybe this computer is only scanning the 16-bit ROMs. Or maybe it's just only scanning the video ROM, and it's only scanning because the VGA video ROM maps in at a certain address. But yeah, it's... the only thing is, if I do find a BIOS that would work on this computer, I can't program it today. I have some ROM chips that I could probably use, but I don't have an eraser for them. I've got one on order, though. So let me see here. 386 BIOS for... the 386L binary is for large. It includes more options, but you have to have a 16K ROM chip to use it. Because it's actually a 12K ROM image. So for the XT-IDE, since it looks like they only support an 8K ROM, you can't use the L version. So... Oh, it does? Yeah, I don't have a... Okay, well, I'll have to get a, well, actually, I think I do have some AT27. I have some ROM chip, they're EPROMs. Not EEPROMs. But I have some EPROMs that are that size. But they have data written to them, so I needed I've got a UV chip eraser on order. So if I can get the 27C256, or if I can get one erased, although I'll have to program it, but I can give it a try in case maybe there's something about that larger image that maybe there's something this computer needs in it. Yeah, it's more programming steps. Yeah, I was looking online to see if I could find a replacement BIOS. And then I just happened to point a forum post on the VCF forums, someone who's trying to use a XT-IDE in a, oh, well, it looks like they're trying to use an XT-CF in a 386, and they can't get it to work, which sounds very interesting. Oh, it looks like they had an assembly error. Here we go. Let's see here. Headland Technologies. Ah, it's on Vogon's wiki. It's a list of 386 chipsets. I wonder if the one I have in here is on it. So it looks like this is the... Let's see here. HT-101SX? GC-102? Nope. Ah! This chipset's not on their list. What do you know? I feel special. Yeah, I have a feeling this BIOS is limited. So I guess what I'll do before ending the stream is I will pull up the information, because I think I can pull up the information on the BIOS and check it. Just in the hopes that the memory test runs faster if you have the BIOS shadowed RAM. But anyways, I'll pull up the information on the BIOS and check it. And that way, if anyone happens to be watching the stream that might realize there are replacement 386 BIOS images, and they might happen to know of one for the chipset in this computer. I'll read some of the details off the chips too. So anyways, this is... It does have an AMI BIOS currently in it. It was built December 15th, 1989, for whatever that's worth. And I think if I do this, I can pull the... Well, I guess that's all the information it has on the ROM. So is there any other... sysinfo for DOS. I don't have that on a disk at the moment. I don't think I do. No. I might actually have it on the CompactFlash card that I can't read in this computer. Alright, for anyone that might be also know where replacement BIOSes are, this does look like it is a XT-101SX chipset by Headland Technology. That's the part number on one of the chips. And since I found a list of Headland Technologies chipsets and all the chipsets started with an HT part number, I think that's probably the one you need, because the other Headland Technology chip that's in a PLC-C socket is a GC102. This is a 386 SX computer, and unfortunately the AMI BIOS chips only have a serial number on them and just say 386 BIOS, copyright 1986 to 1990 AMI. There's not even a version number on them. But there are 2 ROM chips. So that is... And actually, if I can get sysinfo for DOS on this computer, I'll post a screenshot to Instagram. Probably. Or maybe I'll post a quick follow-up video to YouTube. One or the other. Maybe both. But anyway, so that would be the information I have on this computer. If anyone happens upon a compatible ROM image for the BIOS, I would be willing to erase some of my EPROMs and program an alternate BIOS and give it a try, because luckily the ROM chips are socketed, so I just pop them out, try them. Yeah, I can, I guess I can do a quick Google search. Actually, I can do a quick Google search, but it helps to Alt-Tab to your web browser with the keyboard that is actually connected to the computer for web browsing. Something tells me this might be a search where I need to actually use Google and not DuckDuckGo. Oh! The Vogon's 386 BIOS image collections. There we go. Alright, well, let's see. What they might have. Wow. Alright, well, that's chips. Chips and technologies. Up 4X. Yep, I think I just need to find, yeah, I've got a Vogon's forum post here. And I just need to scroll the forum post and find one that's got the same chipset. And this looks like a possible source. Just take a little bit of scrolling, probably. But I can't program it now because I gotta erase chips, but once I get the chips erased, then I believe I have two of the correct size, and I can give it a try. And when I've got ROMs to try, I'll schedule a live stream. We'll try it live on stream. How much more fun could it get than that? Jay can even heckle from the background. So anyways, I guess I will have to... Yeah, or fix the XT. Yep, I've got the plans in place to do that. So I hopefully will get the video out, next video out on that. Well, I don't know if it'll be this week. It'll probably be next week. I really do need to do my taxes this week. And I got a few other things I've committed to this week. So it might be next week before I get to that next video. So, yeah, Thomas, you can let me know if it works on a Pentium. Because if it works on a Pentium, then that probably really does point to the BIOS in this computer not scanning option ROMs or not scanning them properly. So... But I did have something in here it should have scanned, and it should have, but did not. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and call the stream to an end because my hands are getting cold. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining. Don't forget to smash that like button, leave a comment. If anyone... Before I actually find it, if anyone watching this later actually does realize there is a compatible newer BIOS out there, you can leave a comment. In fact, you can put a link in the comment. I believe the comment will go to moderation, but I will see it and I will approve the comment, and we'll also go download that BIOS or at least check it out and make sure I think it's compatible, and we'll give it a try. So if you do post a comment with a link to a BIOS image and it doesn't show up immediately, don't worry, it just went to moderation. I'll check it. As long as please don't use a short link service so I can actually see the full URL. That's my only request if you post a link, because I'm not going to follow a short link that I don't know where it goes to, because there are spam bots that post short links and comments, and so just post the full link. That's all I ask. I'll check it out, and if everything checks out, I will approve your comment so that everyone else can see it, and I'll also go download it, and I'll schedule a stream, and we'll give it a try on this computer. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone for joining. I hope you have a good day, and I hope to see you next stream. Take care.